The New York Jets came into this season with redemption on their minds. Aaron Rodgers, lasting 4 plays into the 2023 season before his Achilles exploded, was seen as a freak injury that derailed what many projected would be a promising season for the Jets. The Jets and their fans had every right to be excited. They had just gotten a future first-ballot Hall of Fame quarterback to complement their number 1 receiver in Garrett Wilson and their super talented running back in Breece Hall, on top of their ascending defense that was already viewed as one of the better defenses in the league. With plenty of talent at key positions, the Jets looked set to make an honest-to-God run. Even after finishing with a 7-10 record, many people gave them a pass because of the Rodgers Achilles tear. So instead, 2024 was supposed to be the 2023 run. The Jets even had a favorable schedule to boot. Surely they wouldn't pull a Jets and butt fumble this season away, right? Haha, yeah, no. Because, holy mother of God, this Jets team is fucking dog shit. Contenders? This team was supposed to contend? For what? A participation trophy? They might not even deserve one of those. This Jets team that, at this point, I expected would be around 5-3 with a couple of gimme games in there, is now 2-6 after losing to the rebuilding Patriots and Jacoby Brissett. Yup, that's right. Aaron Rodgers had to go out to midfield and shake hands in defeat at the hands of Jacoby Brissett. Never doubt the Jets and their uncanny ability to sink to lower depths than previously thought possible. But how did we even get to this point? Oh, but of course, with the signing of Aaron Rodgers. Actually, it was the signing of Nathaniel Hackett. Yes, this was the first piece of bait that was needed to bring Aaron Rodgers out of his literal cave. A mediocre offensive coordinator that Aaron loves because he makes him laugh. Yeah, let's just disregard the fact that players have complained about how predictable his offensive schemes are, because laughter is the best medicine, even for a franchise in a perpetual freefall. What else could have lured Aaron to the Jets? Signing a bunch of those trash players from Green Bay that he was trying to get away from. Alan Lazard, Adrian Amos, Billy Turner, his good old washed up buddy in Randall Cobb, and his favorite receiver turned Raider Devontae Adams, who preferred to have Derek Carr throw him footballs for less money over Aaron Rodgers and more money. Every single one of these acquisitions and or trades, you could point to Rodgers as being the sole or at least primary reason for their signings. It's as if Rodgers took the Packers and, well, pushed them somewhere else. Well, now that Rodgers has everything he needed and or wanted, surely now it was time for him to at least put the Jets in position to make a deep playoff run, right? If this is 2016 Rodgers, yes. However, Aaron has not been the same QB since his most recent MVP season in 2021. He's not been awful, but he has not thrown for 300 yards in a game since December 12th, 2021 versus the Bears. When Aaron Rodgers gets brought in, he is expected to carry the team to a good extent. It doesn't need to be 300 yards and 3 touchdowns every week, but an elevated level of play is required, along with an offensive line. Oh, that's right. A 40-year-old quarterback needs one of those, doesn't he? What's that? Rodgers tore his Achilles because his O-line can't block for him? Nonsense. This team is just a quarterback away. That's what everyone says. No way that could be wrong. It sounds too cool. The Jets are a cool team. The Jets would start the season 2-4 with their only 2 wins coming against the pathetic Titans and the arguably even more pathetic Patriots. Following their 4th loss of the season against the Vikings in London, the dysfunction switch was flipped yet again when owner Woody Johnson fired head coach Robert Saleh. Oh yeah, because he was the problem. Totally not the meddling owner that doesn't know jack shit about football and had to pull off a power move because he was embarrassed that his team lost while in the presence of all his mega wealthy English friends. You know what would be a great power move, Woody? Sell the fucking team for the sake of the players, fans, and the organization. Many people seem to think it was Rodgers who got Saleh fired, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but I personally don't buy it. Rodgers threw 3 interceptions in that game, one of which was not his fault. But I find it hard to believe that Rodgers would be that blind to his own abilities, or lack thereof in this case, and demand Saleh be fired. I know there's all the memes going around about, oh, how dare Robert Saleh throw 3 interceptions against the Vikings. I know Rodgers has an ego, but come on, man. This decision falls on the head of Woody Johnson. As if things weren't already bad enough with Saleh being scapegoated, Rodgers broke the emergency glass and told the Jets to trade for his boy Davante Adams. He's got multiple Pro Bowls and first-team All-Pros along with legendary chemistry with Rodgers. Would it be enough to elevate the woeful Jets past the Steelers and the Danger Witch man Russell Wilson in his first game of the season? Of course not! This is the fucking Jets we're talking about! With an interim head coach at that! No disrespect to Jeff Ulbrich. He didn't ask to be in this situation.
I never asked for this.
But he was going against the Super Bowl winning head coach in Mike Tomlin. Aaron Rodgers did what he could, and honestly, he had some great throws in this game. But the fact that this ball thrown to Garrett Wilson was perfectly placed over the fingertips of the defender, hit Wilson right between the numbers, in stride, and yet the ball bounces off his chest and is picked off by a Steeler defender, made me declare the Jets dead on the spot. Oh, but mathematically it was still possible, and their schedule gets even easier. This meant they aren't dead, but on life support for sure. Well, the plug was pulled this past Sunday, and my goodness, it was yet another classic moment of the Jets being the Jets. Rodgers threw some unreal passes in the game, but scoring only 22 points and allowing a game-winning touchdown drive versus a bottom-feeding Patriots team with their backup quarterback? You can't let that happen if you want to contend for a Super Bowl. Gee, maybe if you didn't fire your defensive-minded head coach, maybe this wouldn't happen. But I digress. Either way, you can't allow this shit to happen if you're Aaron freaking Rodgers. He is not the only one at fault here. Greg Zuerlein might be finding himself in the unemployment line really soon if he continues to shank makeable field goals and extra points. That all being said, we have to acknowledge that Aaron Rodgers spent the majority of his tenure in Green Bay, covering up for the weaknesses of the roster and the coaching staff. We are used to seeing him overcome seemingly impossible and unwinnable situations. He's the Hail Mary King. He's been Deus Ex Machina for the Packers and their fans for so many years. Everyone expected him to come and do that at 40 years old. But this Jets team is far too broken for Rodgers to fix.
Yeah, I've been in the darkness. You got to go in there. Make peace with it.
Would his odds be better if he was in his prime? Of course, but I believe even that would be a struggle. Rodgers' arm is still magnificent. He still throws passes that are unbelievable. But it's all the other throws in between those highlight reel throws that are hurting this offense. That being said, he does still need a bit more of a supporting cast. Look at Brady's Bucks in the year they won the Super Bowl. He had an elite defense, a fantastic receiving core, and a great offensive line that only gave up 21 sacks on the year. I promise the Jets' record looks much different if they had all three of these things. But instead, here we are. It's Week 8, and we are standing before the rotting carcass that is the 2024 New York Jets. Everyone will blame Rodgers, and he deserves blame. But from top to bottom, this was a failure of a season. The Packers won the Rodgers trade. And it's not so much because Aaron Rodgers isn't Aaron Rodgers anymore. It's because the New York Jets are and will forever be the New York Jets. That's all I've got for you today. What an absolute catastrophe that we have all bared witness to with this Jets team. What do you guys think about how the Jets season has gone? Do you think there's any slither of hope for this dumpster fire of a franchise this season? Where do they even go from here this season and beyond? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.